Good afternoon, good afternoon. My beautiful ones, my wise ones, and my melanated ones. Today is Sunday, February the 23rd, and I am Wisdom Reborn, y'all. Wasn't yesterday a beautiful day? It really was. I hope you were able to get out and get some sunshine and get some fresh air and get some things done. I actually stayed outside for a long time yesterday. I can't believe it. I have turned into a sort of a hermit. And I like it, but I have to have my nature time too. So I was out in the wilderness for hours yesterday, and hours. It felt good. But I woke up this morning a little late because I decided to sleep in today. Something that I don't always do, but I was able to grant myself some extra rest. And when I woke up this morning, I woke up with so many things popping in my mind till I wrote some stuff down. But the one thing that I noticed on yesterday is that the fog is definitely lifting. When I was out and about a little bit, well, out a little bit earlier, I noticed that it is beautiful outside again today. So the fog is actually lifting now. The fog that I'm speaking of is more of an emotional, spiritual knowledge. It is things are shifting, and with yesterday being 222, and the symbolization of 222 is balance, harmony, and spiritual alignment. I think that the Most High is making way for us to be able to get into alignment. I hope that you were able to speak positive things yesterday so that that balance and harmony could take place. And if you had any emotional or disturbing things that come up, I hope you were able to address them so that you don't carry them over, because the actual real new year is coming up on us. So I hope you didn't carry those things over. Now, with the fog being lifted, we are going to be faced with some things that we did not think we were ever going to have to deal with, because we thought we were doing everything right. Well, let me tell you that some of the things that we're going to be faced with may put us in a place where we feel despair. Don't give up and don't lose hope. Don't do it. Whatever you do, do not lose your footing, your foundation, the thing that got you stabilized. That's the root. Don't let your roots be shaken. I need for you to be like a tree that is planted by the rivers of water, because it is time for us to start bringing forth fruit, because this is definitely the season. So some of the things that have been allowed to happen to us as melanated people, we were not guilty of the battles. We did not lose these battles. We were not guilty of these things. However, our ancestors were. Our ancestors broke a covenant agreement that we had with the Most High, that we would not forsake Him. And because we forsake the laws and the way of life that was given to us, because our ancestors did, we are now reaping in the curses that came along with that. That time is soon to be over. That is why it is so imperative that we move in love and authenticity, so that our actions don't wreak havoc on the next generations. The ones that we love, I'm not sure if, I am sure, a lot of the things that our ancestors had to deal with in, I would say, the last 8 to 600 years are things that they didn't foresee us having to deal with. Now, because we've inherited the transgressions of our forefathers, we have to think about the ones that we love, our children, our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, and those generations to come. Our movement now is imperative, and with the fog being lifted, the veil being unrent, we can see the things that are put before us to distract us, to keep us off course. We have got to stay the course. If you are off course, please gather along with us so that we can move forward. The generations, I'm gonna use a biblical statement, are getting weaker and wiser. Weaker to the lust, the things that drive us to do the wrong thing, but wiser to the fact that we know it's not right. We can look at these things and we can identify these things as things that are not in alignment with the Most High and the abundant way that we are supposed to be living. Abundant life does not mean you have a lot of stuff. Stuff does not equate to abundance. Abundance is a mental, a spiritual, a holistic way of knowing that you have what you need, knowing that you are connected in alignment with the things that will progress life in a positive manner. The thing is, some of us would rather live a lie. And the reason we would rather live a lie is because a lie does not constitute change, whereas the truth will make you free. Did you hear that? The truth will make you free. Now, I don't know about y'all, but I know when you make anything, it requires something. If you make a sandwich, if you make a cake, if you make a baby, if you make love, if you make war, they all require something. And the two definitive things that making something requires are time and energy. The other ingredients are ingredients, but the two things you have to have in order to make anything are time and energy. Because we see time as constantly moving on a 24-hour clock, we're constantly distracted, we're constantly being pulled in this direction, being pulled in that direction, we feel like we don't have time to be made free. Along with that time is the energy that goes into it. Because we are working here doing this, working there doing that, focused on getting this done, focused on getting that done, we don't have the energy, or we're not putting the energy into being made free. It costs something. It costs, if nothing else, it costs your time and your energy. That's anything. You can't make a sandwich like that. To make a sandwich, you got to open up the pack of bread. You got to mayonnaise, mustard, or whatever you're going to put on it. You got to put your meat on it, your vegetables, or lettuce, tomato, cheese, whatever. You got to put it together. It takes time. It takes energy. And we have got to get to the point to where we understand that time and energy are two of the most highly valued commodities. Those are two things that will take us into our abundance. Allocating our time properly and allocating our energy properly. All the other things, once we get those two things together, we understand that those two things will put us in a place where truthfulness can make us free. Until we gather that, we are going to be gathering for nothing. That's yeah. Now, I also wanted to touch base on the fact that we have aligned ourselves with policies, processes, ordinances, and laws of people who thought killing, murdering, pillaging was sport. I've been wanting to watch Gladiator 2 for quite some time. This morning, I sat down and I tried to watch it. But as I was watching it, so much was being revealed to me. So the Romans, the people who put the Bible together, and I'm not questioning your spirituality. I'm not here to question your spirituality. But I am here to bring light on religion because it's a major difference. It's a major difference. And because we are already divinely connected, the melanin in our bodies gives us a birthright. I need to talk to you about the things that we've attached ourselves to. And some of it is kind of fierce. So give me a second. So we have attached ourselves to a philosophy, a way of life, a doctrine that believes everything is entertainment. Fighting, murdering, I'm gonna say intimate sins, intimate transgressions, all of those things from that culture has been fed to us. We have accepted it because we live in a universe where we have free will. We live in a society, we live in a stratosphere where we were given free will. Along with our free will, we have accepted some things. We have accepted some things that do not line up with what the Most High had for us. I don't know what the Most High had for anyone else because that's not my area of interest. I am only interested in the things that help the melanated. And that's not harsh. I love everyone else. Now I'm concerned about what happens to everyone else. But my concern, my heart goes out to the melanated because we have been deceived and we have been taught that we are the darkness, that we are the evil, the wickedness in the world, and we bought into it. We've bought into it, even though statistics show the most heinous crimes are not committed by melanated people, but because that is what's put before us to keep us distracted, to keep us buying into the darkness that they say is within us. Everything is acceptable. Now, the abuse of and the disrespect and the ability to take life, it's a sport to a lot of us. It has become a way of life to a lot of people. That is not what our melanin is for. Melanin is a chemical compound, 666 carbon melanin. That 666 is what we were told was the mark of the beast, and we bought into it. So even, and I hate to go this way, but I feel like I'm being led to go this way. Even though we don't necessarily say 666, we say the mark of the beast. Because the mark of the beast was attached to melanin, carbon melanin, when we say the mark of the beast, we're basically saying us. Because that's what we have been taught, that the mark of the beast, the 666 is the mark of the beast. 666 is not the mark of the beast. 666 is our mark of divinity for melanated people. Now, to non-melanated people, to the Romans, to those who came up against us, to those who thought they could enslave us and capture us, or those who did enslave us and capture us, 666 is the mark of the beast, because they are fearful of us. And in their fear of us and our ability to connect with nature and our ability to stay connected to the Most High, do you know there are Portuguese, Spanish, English writings that say, as they came upon the people in Africa, the trees, the bees, the animals fought for us, with us. Now, you don't believe that, but you believe that if you don't praise the Lord, the rocks will cry out for him. And they will. They will. I was out on my walk yesterday and I found this beautiful, 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 it's not a rock, it's a crystal. It is a citrine and it has quartz in it. It's a crystal. And because they actually do make a sound, they have a frequency, they will cry out. They will praise. They will allow themselves to reverberate a frequency that is pleasing in the eyes of the Most High. However, we have allowed the Romans to tell us that crystals are bad when we don't even pay attention to what's going on in the Old Testament, the books, the real books of the Bible, that say that when the Israelites went out to war, their helmets and their breastplates were adorned with crystals, because those crystals offered to them protection. So because we have been fed the story that 666 is the mark of the beast, everything that goes along with us in our carbon melanin has been disguised as evil, wicked. You don't believe me? I think it's in the book of Exodus where they say that as the warriors went out to battle, their breastplates had citrine and quartz and rose quartz and lapis lazuli and all of these other obsidian, tourmaline. They had crystals on them to protect them, to help stabilize them, to help ground them. Each crystal has a job. Each crystal vibrates at a frequency that our bodies need, that the melanin in our bodies can relate to, can bear witness to, can come together with. Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to go off there, but the rituals, the things that the Romans done in those days, and I'm simply gonna say the Romans, although I will tell you Rome is a part of Europe, which is a part of a European culture. That European culture has looked down on the African culture. And Israel is definitely a part of Africa. The 12 tribes, yes, the people that look like me and you and are darker and beautiful. The people who can sit in the sun and allow the sun to activate, empower us, we, us. Yeah, all those things have been made to look bad. Except there's one thing that I noticed that's not so openly accepted. And the one thing that's not so openly accepted from that culture to current modern day, and I say openly, is the eating of flesh and the drinking of blood. Because yes, they ate the flesh and drank the blood of their enemies, the people that they captured. Why? Because they felt like there was strength in their blood and flesh. There was strength in grinding up the bones and putting the bones in a mixture. There was strength in that. Not our culture. Not our culture at all, but their culture. Scientists say there are a few tribes from the African region that maybe did use cannibalism as a way of doing rituals. But more than that were the European rituals that included blood and body of the people that they enslaved, the people that they captured. So much so to even here in the United States of America, they use our body parts for leather, to make purses, to make coin purses. They would use the skin off of a woman's breast. They would use the intimate parts of a man, the reproductive parts of a man, to make coin purses, the things that they put tobacco in, human skin, our skin to make books, our skin to put around ink pens and feathers for writing, the ink jars and for writing. Y'all better hear me what I'm saying to y'all. So as I was thinking about that, and all of that was coming to me, I thought about rituals. What really is a ritual? And I looked it up. And Merriam-Webster says that rituals are expressing beliefs, creating a sacred space, or fulfilling religious obligations. Now, I'm going to ask you this question, and I mean this. I want you to think about this question. I really want you to think about this question, because I really feel like every first Sunday, too many churches that contain melanated people are doing a sacrifice, a ritual, are doing a ritual that they don't understand is a sacrifice to a God that we should not be subscribing to, because that's what got us in this mess in the first place. As long as we did not forsake his name, as long as we maintain the laws that were set before us, as long as we stay together as a tribe, we were protected. As soon as we allowed them to change his name, as soon as we started serving another God, as soon as we were separated, we went into what is called slavery. We were taken from the land that our forefathers had tilled, harvested, the minerals, that we lived on, the land that we were granted. We were taken from that land, and the ones of us that stayed at that land were put into a system called colonialism, which is A little different than what those of us that came to the Americas experienced, because we experienced chattel slavery, which is the worst kind of slavery that history has ever known. And the difference between the two is, or different kinds of slavery are, slavery, yes, was accepted in the Bible. There was a form of slavery, but the form of slavery that the Bible actually speaks of is more of a servitude, more of an indentured service type thing. It was for people who were poor, who did not have the means to provide for themselves and provide to their family, so provide for their families. So they entered into an agreement, and the agreement that they entered into had a time limit. They were not treated with disrespect. They were not murdered. They were not raped. Their children were not separated away from them for eternity. However, the Europeans that got us, the worst of the worst, and the reason I say the worst of the worst is because those that came to the Americas were not upholding law-abiding citizens. Those were the prisoners, the people that the Queen said, get them out of here. King Charles said, get them out of here. They can go, send them, yes, send them. Go, let them go there. The ones who didn't want to abide by the laws of the land, that they tell us we have to abide by the laws of the land. Yeah. They were not upstanding people. They were the deranged psychopaths. The ones who openly participated in all of these other things. Those were the ones that were sent here. A lot of them. Now, there were some people that were not like that. And I say that because my grandfather, I don't know how many times removed, Robert Heath, was granted North Carolina and South Carolina. And he established colonies here. Although he mostly lived in Virginia, he helped establish the colonies here. And with saying that, he was a sir. He was on Parliament. He was given this as a gift. And in his being given this as a gift, all sorts of stuff happened because he was connected to darkness. Yes, he was. He was connected to darkness, so much so that his grandson, John Heath, started, and I've said this before, Phi Beta Kappa, the first fraternity, the first one at William and Mary College. And the reason he started it was because there were incantations and such that he needed to have done, and he could not get them done alone. So he started a secret society at the college so that other people could help him with this. Don't believe me? Do your research. Don't believe me? Do your research. And that is how fraternities got started in colleges here in the United States of America. 1776. Yes. Nonetheless, those people that were sent here, that came here, were given basically free reign to do however they wanted to do with whatever they wanted to do with us. They were not very skilled in building, in farming, in anything, but they knew we were. So when they tell you that they went to Africa and got slaves, they didn't go to Africa and get slaves. They went to Africa and they got teachers and scientists and archaeologists and astronomers and architects and bakers and builders and the cream of the crop. And why were they able to do that? Because we disobeyed the commandments that were given before us. We disobeyed the laws that we had lived for hundreds of thousands of years that kept us protected. We were forewarned in Deuteronomy 28 that this would happen, and it was prophesied in Malachi, the 2nd chapter, that these things would happen. And these things have happened. Now the fog is being lifted, and the veil has been rent. truth is right before you. If you don't have the truth, it's only because you don't want to put in the time and the energy to see the truth. Because that's the only way it's going to make you free. The only way it's going to make you free. You cannot expect freedom to be given to you. Freedom is a state of mind. Freedom is a state of spiritual independence. Freedom is a state of emotional maturity. And if you can look at society today, February 23rd, 2025, and not see that we are captives in a land that allows us to make money and drive cars and live in fancy houses and wear designer clothes, if you don't see that we are not still captive here, then you are wasting your time and your energy on things that do not matter. That's the truth. And it'll make you free. It will. But there's some ingredients that you need. And the first two ingredients that you're going to need are going to be time and energy. And the only way you're going to understand that you need those two ingredients is if you change your position so you can view life from a different angle. You can keep being spoon-fed the lust and greed and glutton and all of the other horrible things that you've been feeding yourself. You can keep, or allowing yourself to be fed. You can keep doing that. But if you care about your children and your grandchildren and your great-grandchildren and the generations to come, I would suggest that you invest your time and your energy on getting to know what is in your heart, looking back, pulling those things down, casting down all of those imaginations that have you bound, that have bound us. It is a constant, everyday movement that has to happen. We have to learn to die daily. We have to learn that ego and what others think of us is destroying us. I don't care what people think about me. I do not. I am here to bring a message. I am here to bring the truth. I am here to bring a level of wisdom. And I have to. I have to. If it offends you, you're offended. I noticed that, though. Glad I thought of that. Glad I said that. A lie generally doesn't offend someone. When somebody knows that someone has told a lie on them, they usually be like, oh no, that's a lie. I ain't even worried about that. But when it is the truth offends. It's supposed to. It's supposed to offend you. It's supposed to offend you till you get to a certain place to where you want to dig into it and make it not be true, because you can walk in a lie and it not bother you. It takes no time, no effort, no energy for a lie to live. It takes energy, time, and effort for the truth to make you free. I come in authenticity and in love. I have made up my mind that I am going to live life a particular kind of way. If that means that I have to live life with absolutely nothing material, I will live it, because in the end, I have a connection with the Most High that is more valuable than anything. There is a homeless man that I love talking to him. We call him Pops. I love talking to Pops. Pops said, man, I had so much money at one point. I had 4 more Mercedes before most people even knew what a Mercedes was here in Charlotte. Pop said, I had so much money. I had a big house. I had this. I had women. I had this. I had that. God took it all away from me. I was like, what? He was like, and I feel better now. I sleep better now at the homeless shelter than I slept in my custom-made bed. What? He said, because at the end of the day, I got peace. At the end of the day, I don't have to worry about who coming to take my stuff, who might be doing this, what they saying about me here or there. It don't matter what people say about me. What matters is how I feel about me. Pops has taught me so much. So much. And I sleep in a custom bed. Pops is one of the most authentic individuals that I have ever ran across. He said while he was one of the biggest recreational pharmaceutical suppliers in the area, he said he went to church every Sunday and the pastor never said anything to him about the money that he was never turned down. And he said the pastor never turned down a penny. And the pastor knew what was going on. The church people knew what he did, but because he was funding them, they accepted his wickedness without question. That's crazy, y'all. That is crazy. I hope Pops does not mind me sharing that, and I don't think he will, because he tells a story to everybody who crosses his path. We have got to learn that, we just got to learn. We just got to learn. The things that we desire may be the things that the next generations will have to pay for. The things that make us smile and make us feel good physically, but are killing us spiritually, the next generations are going to have to pay for it. Because when we were in our homeland, living off the land, learning about the sciences and paying attention to nature and how we were treating the earth, we had it all. We were in a life of almost bliss, I would say. Yes, we worked and we toiled for what we had. I'm not going to say we toiled for it, but we worked for what we had and we respected it and it meant something to us. And then came the guns and the things that appealed to our 5 senses, which are not the senses that we were brought up to pay attention to. We were brought up to pay attention to wisdom, our pineal gland, the third eye, the first eye, that our words meant something, that what came from the heart meant something, that our intuition meant something, that our imagination, creativity meant something. And all of that had us rooted and grounded. It meant something. What means something to us now? What means something to you now? And I'm going to say this and I'm going to end. I hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I hope that if you watch this video and you learned something from this video and it touched you in some kind of way, that you would like it. Sometimes 300, 400 people look at my videos and I might get a dozen likes. But these people keep coming back. to watch it again. I don't do it for the likes. I don't. I do it because the Most High has given me a charge. And in the charge that he's given me, I can't hold this. I got fibromyalgia. This stuff will keep me up for days. This stuff will have my stomach toe up, my head hurting, my body aching. I can't hold on to it. So I give it to you. I love y'all. Hope you have a wonderful Sunday. I hope you get out and get you some sunshine. I'm going to. I'm getting ready to dip. Sometimes you got to pop out and show them. I'm getting ready to pop out for a little while. On this beautiful Sunday, February 23rd, 2025, to my beautiful ones, my wise ones, and my melanated ones, but especially the beautiful, wise, and melanated ones. Y'all, we got to get it together. We have to. The fog is lifting. Yes, the curse, the 430-year curse. 1619, or we say 16, I even give you 1620, 1630. It's about to be over with. And it's about to come a time, it's going to be a time where you got to choose. You got to decide. You got to stand. The truth is out there. Will you allow it to make you free? Will you make the investment of time and energy to allow it to make you free? Peace and blessings. Wisdom Reborn.